Hey, what's good? What's good? Good morning, good people. Good morning, those of you who are on Facebook. Good morning, those of you who may be joining and plugging in through the YouTube. Good morning to you, man. I got my green juice this morning. Shout out, salute to my man Harold LaFall Jr. for keeping us healthy and strong, man, with the juice game. Just wanted to share some ideas, man, share some thoughts this morning around enoughness. One of my favorite topics. I was praying this morning, and man, I just felt like God was inspiring me, motivating me, pushing me to just go live this morning and to share the ideas that came to heart. So this may be for you, or this may not be for you. But if it's for you, then just hold on tight, stay plugged in for the next 10 minutes or so. Won't be on here very long, but I did want to share what's on my heart this morning. Um, I forgot what I entitled this, but really everything is focused on the idea, man, that came to heart this morning in prayer. And that idea is if you can't find it, you can't feel it, right? If you can't find it, you can't feel it. And I'm going to be sharing with you in just a moment what that means. In fact, let's just go ahead and jump right into it, man. Number one, when it comes to feeling like we are enough, when it comes to believing that we are enough, one thing is true. We are all searching. There's not a person alive that's not searching. We may express it through things like, I wonder what's my purpose? What's my meaning, right? Some people may say, why am I here, right? Some people may ask the question, why did God make me? But we're all on this journey. We're all searching. We're all looking for this idea of self. We're all searching for this positive idea and concept of ourselves and how we fit into the landscape of life, how we fit in this world, right? We're all looking for our piece to the puzzle in a sense. We're all looking for a place to call home, a position where we can thrive and we can feel like we're somebody, someone special, someone important, that we're loved, that we're accepted, right? The list goes on and on and on in terms of how people go about expressing this concept and searching. But the one thing is true, we are all searching for our identity. We're all searching for what I call this evidence of enoughness. And what I've discovered is that we cannot find, or I'm sorry, we cannot feel what we can't find, right? We cannot feel what you can't find, right? I kind of messed up here, a little typo there, but you get the essence of what I'm saying. I can't feel what I don't find. You can't feel what you don't find. And what I mean by that is that we're looking for the evidence. We're searching for the evidence, and I'm going to get into, for me, the three most popular places that we look for this evidence of our enoughness in, right? There are places where we go. We're not aware that we're going there, but we go there. And whether we're conscious to it, whether we're aware of it or not, we seek out these three places most often. And what we're doing is we're searching, right? We're looking for the evidence, right? Where is the evidence? Where is the evidence that I'm enough, right? I need this thing to prove to me that I'm enough of a father, enough of a mother, enough of a son, a daughter, enough of a coworker, enough of a pastor, of a minister. I'm enough of whatever role or title or label you put on yourself, right? You're searching for this, but what I've discovered is that we're looking for a feeling. We're looking for this feeling, this emotional experience that you want to keep having it. You want it to be consistent. You want it ongoing, and you want to live, right? It's like your life. You want your life to be an experience of your enoughness. You want to know, man, I'm somebody. Like, you want to know, hey, I'm important in this world, right? And so I'm going to be getting into right now the three areas that I feel that people look to, but they don't they don't usually deliver, right? So Here's the three areas that we normally look to, and I'm going to be getting to my point in terms of where I think you should be looking and where I think you can find this sustainable source of evidence, this sustain this sustainable source of enoughness, right? A lifelong supply, right? Because these three areas, they tend to run out on us. These three areas, they get us by temporarily. They get us by, for a few minutes, for a few days, months, weeks, years. But then at some point they run dry. They run out, right? Like a well without water, man. They just run out on you. When you most need them, they run out. Number one, right there, achievements. Most of us go to achievements. If we want to feel like we're important, we want to feel like we fit in, we want to feel like we're somebody, we we tend to want to achieve a lot. And please hear my heart. I am working on not being categorical. Okay. There's this idea of categorical thinking. It's this black and white, this or that, them and us, either or. You feel me? And no, life is way too complex. Life is too beautiful. Life is too fascinating. Life is too vivid. Life is too colorful. Life is too amazing for things to be categorical, right? And so when I speak of these things, please hear my heart. Everything has its time and its place. Even the Bible talks about it. Everything under the sun, everything has a season, everything has a time and a place. There's a time for this and a time for that. So time, right? Ha, right? Time. Um, I didn't plan on that one, but hey, it was pretty cool. But here's my point. I am not saying that any of these things are bad. Air quotes, none of them are bad. They have their time and place. In the context of finding the evidence that you need to feel like you're enough, these three, they will fail you at some point in time. So number one, achievements, okay? This is the context in which I'm sharing this. Finding your evidence so that you can feel like you are enough. So achievements, they're good, man. But what happens is with achievements, as you know, if you've gone down this road before, enough is never enough. You cross one finish line and then there's another one. You jump over one hurdle and then there's another one. You scale one wall and then there's another one. So you get my point. Enough is never enough. There's as soon as you're finished with one thing, boom, you're right into the next thing. Right. I always like to draw the analogy. Think of running a marathon, right? 26 point, whatever it is, miles, right? You run this marathon, you're exhausted, you are depleted, you are exhausted, you're gasping for air, you have just crossed the finish line after 26 grueling miles, and you cross the line. And then as soon as you look up, there's another start line. Like a step away, there's another start line. That's what it feels like when you are looking to achievements, because as soon as you finish one grueling task, as soon as you climb one mountain, boom, there's another one for you to climb. Again, in this context, it doesn't work. Now, being a high achiever in life, go for it, man. Live this thing up, live it on 10, achieve all that you can. But in the context of your enoughness, it doesn't come through. Number two, applause. Applause is about other people, right? Sometimes we'll look to other people's affirmations, right? And we'll get into what the isolated affirmation is, but we'll look to be affirmed from other people. We'll look to their applause. So we'll go out, we'll do something, and then we'll kick back and say, okay, how many people are patting me on the back? How many high fives? How many kudos? How many text messages? How many emails? How many likes? How many shares? How many saves? How many, I don't know, what other little emojis we found to kind of validate ourselves, right? We're looking for human applause. And again, it doesn't have the capacity to sustain you, right? It never does enough, because as soon as you drop another video or you do another thing or you make another post, no matter how many likes, no matter how many shares, no matter how many views, no matter how many this or that you get, no matter how perfect your Photoshop is on that, on that picture, no matter how well it was done, it only lasts that long. And then you're hungry for more. See, what these things do, man, is like they leave you empty. It's like you get them temporarily, but then they leave you with hunger pains because they don't satisfy. They don't feel the void. They don't feel the gap. You feel me? Right? And then my last one, man, affirmations. These are those things that we make up, right? Now, I've been guilty of this myself. Again, proper context. Proper context. Affirmations are things that we just make up. We sit off, we grab our pen and pad, and we go into our little meditation space, and we just write out, I am enough, I am significant, I am important, I am loved, I am awesome, I am this, I am that, I am this, I am that. If you're the only one writing that, it's only a matter of time before that well runs dry. I'm not saying affirmations are bad. I'm saying that if the source of your affirmations, if you're the one writing these things out to try to convince yourself, to try to like prove to yourself that you're enough, they tend not to work. They tend to run dry. They don't satisfy, right? Because your hands gonna get tired after a while, right? And your eyes gonna get tired of looking at the same stuff that you wrote that you never really felt aligned with. You never really felt it was true. You never really had the evidence that you were looking for. You just watched a video, you read a book, you heard a motivational speaker, you listened to one of these gurus, you listened to your pastor, you listened to someone who had it going on, right? Who was popping, and you was like, or I'm sorry, they were like, hey man, one of the things that you need to do, one of the routines, one of your morning routines is you have to write out your affirmations, you have to speak to yourself. Again, man, they have their time and place, and there is a proper way to do affirmations. Absolutely. I still do affirmations, but they're based on the thing that I'm about to share with you in just a moment. So here's my point, man, to all these things. They lack the capacity to provide the consistent evidence that you need. Again, we are all looking. Remember, we're all searching. There is a void in every one of us. That's the one thing, man. I mean, there's a few other things, but that's one thing that ties us all together. I don't care if you're black, white, gay, straight, binary, non-binary, Republican, Democrat, red side, blue side, left wing, right wing. I don't care what you is. Here's what I do know you is. You is seeking. You are a seeker of some sort of evidence. And you can do it through religion, you can do it through practices, you can, and all those other things that I just shared. But you are looking, you are on a search, you are on a mission to find how you fit in this thing called life. You are absolutely that person. Yes, you are. Don't care about your background, don't care what your mom and them said or did, or don't care about nothing about your history. Don't matter where you were born. If you are breathing, if you are alive, you are searching for this evidence. And what I just shared with you, those three areas that I find to be most dominant, most prominent in our culture, they just lack the capacity to provide, man, the consistent evidence, right? The evidence might be there temporarily, but it's not consistent. It's not long term. It comes and it goes. And what you're looking for is consistency. You're looking for long term. You're looking for the rest of my life. I need to know that I matter. I need to know I matter when things are good. I need to know I matter when things get hard. I need to know I matter when the roller coaster is going up. I need to know when the roller coaster is taking a dive. I need to know I'm good. I need to know I'm enough. So here it is, man. The moment we've all been waiting for. My favorite, well, one of my favorite passages. My favorite passage, if you care to know, is Mark Mark 135, where it talks about Jesus getting up early in the morning, going to a solitary place where he prayed. Simon and the boys went to go look for him. And when they found him, they exclaimed, where, we were all looking for you. And Jesus said, let us go into the nearby towns and villages that I may preach there also, for this is why I've come. That's my favorite passage. Side note, I love that passage because it puts emphasis on prayer. That's right, the center of it all, your communication with God. That is the foundation of everything. So anyway, side note, back to the program. Here it is, guys. I know. I've shared it a million times, and I'm going to share it a million more times because this is just the cry of my heart. The source, the creator. When we talk about going to anyone or anything, prove to get evidence about our enoughness or about anything else, there is nothing like going to a credible source. See, the affirmations, they're not credible. The achievements, they're not credible. The applause from other people, they're not credible. The one thing that's credible is what your creator has to say about you. I mean, think about this. Put this here. Let me take this down. Put this in any context. If I created this, Now, we all know this to be a magnifying glass, but if I created this, I'm the creator. I get to tell you what it is. And I get to determine that this is enough. You don't get to determine whether or not this is enough. I get to determine whether or not this is enough, because it began in my mind. It began as an idea in my mind as the creator. I determined its design. I determined its color and the way that it would be shaped. I did that, says the creator of anything. It began in my mind, in my imagination, and I put my hands to work to craft and create it and to bring it to life. I determine what this is and what it is to be used for. You don't get to do that because you're not the creator. And so there is nothing like hearing from a credible source. And the most credible source of all time is the creator of anything, including you and I. Now, last time I checked, I'm not here to do religion wars. I'm not battling Christians versus Muslims or Christians versus Buddhists and Christians versus this. I don't care nothing about all that, man. Okay. I'm a Christian. I'm a man of God. In the context of Christianity, because other religions may say that they're a man of God. So not here to battle you with that. I don't care nothing about that. Here's what I can tell you, because this is my life. Here's what I can tell you. The Bible I read, the book I read, says that my creator created me first in his mind. Go back and read Genesis 1, first in his mind. Then he decided, hey, let us create man in our likeness and our image and let them do X, Y, and Z. And then we get down to the good part. After God had created everything, he looked it over. And here's what he said. This is the amplified version for anyone that's looking up the Bible and saying, hey, I ain't never seen that translation before. This one kind of breaks it down a little bit more, okay? And God saw that everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. Check it out. It was suitable. It was pleasant. And he approved it completely. Some translations say he validated it completely. So what does this mean? If you're suitable, because you're a part of what he created, right? So if you're a part of what he created and he looked you over, and your creator determined, not other people, not your mama and your daddy and the boys down the street and the homies in the hood and them over there and your teacher that said something crazy to you in the 3rd grade. And no. Your creator said, the credible source, capital S, baby. Your creator said, you're good. You're very good. You're suitable. You're credible. You know, you're pleasant. I approve you. I validate you. Guys, this is the sustainable source. God is never going away. Neither is his love. Neither is his word. Read the Bible. It says, I'm not going back on my word. I am a God without repentance. I don't have to change my mind like that. I don't have to change my word like that. What I said about you then is what I say about you now. Doesn't matter what you've done. This is not a license to sin. That's a whole nother topic. I don't care nothing about that right now. What I'm telling you is, it doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter what you said. It doesn't matter what you thought. Why? Because you ain't your works. You're not your works. You're not what you do. You're not your thoughts. You're not what you think. You're not your words. You're not what you say. You are God's idea. You are God's creation. You are God's contribution. You are what God says you are at your core and at your center. Everything else you just added on, like we all do. I've added it on too. We all do. Heck, I am the possible. That's an add-on. That's a revelation, right? Right. So, guys, if you're looking for a sustainable source of enoughness, if you're out there trying to find the evidence, Genesis 1:31. That's your evidence. And you can use that to close the case. You can use it to close the case, just like a person in court. Case closed. Close the books on it, right? Here, let me grab my book over here. The good book. You feel me? Like the good book. Let me do this. The good book. You feel me? Hey, case closed. The book is closed, man. This is it. This ends all discussion. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Yes, things will challenge you. Yes, situations will come around that will cause you to doubt. Yes, situations will come around that will challenge what God said about you. Yes, circumstances, people, things, right? Because in life, man, we get disappointed. We get challenged. We get tested. We get tried. Life can get real jacked up at times. But, man, we got to have an anchor for our soul, man. We got to be saying, hey, I know how I currently feel, but I found past tense. I've already found the evidence that proves to me I am enough. I hope and pray that this has added value to your life. I hope and pray that it has meant something to you. I hope and pray that if you've needed this word of encouragement, inspiration, motivation, celebration, whatever you want to call it, I hope and pray that it has reached you, that you got it. Put it in your back pocket, save it for a rainy day, man. Genesis 1:31. He said it. It's done. It's a closed case. Love y'all, man. Praying for y'all, believing in y'all. Have an amazing Friday, man. Have an amazing weekend. You feel me? Just keep loving God, man, and keep letting God love you. My name is Travell C.W. Lynch. They call me Mr. What? If this is your first time catching me live, or if you're catching me on the replay, I am the founder of iAMthepossible. If you're not already subscribed, man, go check out my YouTube channel. I am plugging, absolutely. If you're watching me on Facebook, but you ain't got hip to me on a YouTube, man, go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you're not following my podcast, it's on iamthepossible.com. You can find the podcast link there. Listen to the podcast, man. Like, if you need more, because I don't go live as much, but if you need more, right, videos or content, you can get the podcast, you can get the YouTube channel, all that good stuff, and you can find more out about me. If this is your first time, plug it in with me. All of my trues and blues, all of you who have been rocking with me for quite some time, you guys know who I is, you know how I gets down, and I just pray that it's been an encouragement to y'all, man. All right, you guys having a good one, or not having a good one, have a good one, or some of you are already having a good one, so that's awesome, that's dope. So have a good one, man. Love y'all, praying for y'all, believing in y'all. Until next time, Travell C.W. Lynch, Mr. What? What am I gonna say? Let's say, what am I gonna say? Let's come up with a new one for today. Okay, since I'm on this whole self-concept stuff, let's say like you're talking to yourself, right? Some of us talk to ourselves, right? So we're gonna pretend like we're talking to ourselves, right? So here's the question. Here's the question that you're gonna ask yourself. Hey, is it enough? Is what enough, right? You answer yourself. Is what enough? Is this evidence, Genesis 1:31, is that enough to prove to you that you are enough? Your answer is yes, it is enough to prove to me that I am enough. Okay, so what are you going to do about that? Then I'm going to go out and I'm going to be that. I'm going to be what's possible. I'm going to be enough in every situation, in every circumstance, with no matter who I'm with, no matter where I am, no matter what the context of the situation is, the conversation is. I'm going to be enough. I'm going to decree that. I'm going to declare that. I'm going to decide that. Talk to yourself and talk yourself into receiving the truth concerning you. You're enough. Don't take it from me. Take it from the one that created you. You guys have an amazing one, man. I'm out. Love y'all.